Eyes out, beats on the track.
Test. Yo, I have no idea why it's vibrating like that. I'm sorry. What a terrible transition. That was kind of bad. We gotta read it. That's right. What's up, everybody? Man, it's good to see y'all back in the building. All right. It's good to see y'all back in the building. Listen, we got it's like a record right now. 7 people starting already in the stream. That's big. That's huge. Of course, we got the OG Organic Black in the building. Top mind in the world in the building. I want to apologize off WAP if the colors are a little wacky and the colors seem like really, I don't know how it's going to look on your screen. Hopefully it looks good. It looks okay on my screen. So I don't know how it's going to look on your screen, but we had video issues and we continue to have video issues here. We're going to get right into the stories because we got to get right into the segment. We might not be too long-winded or as long-winded as we usually are on live streams going forward. And from here on out, we're going to try and get to the news as quickly and facetiously. No, expeditiously, I think is going to be the right word there, as we can now. But we're still going to have fun, and we're going to have a great discussion and a great topic tonight in the Kanye West situation, right? The Kanye West White Lives Matter situation, topic of discussion. This is something that's really big and heated all around, quite frankly, the world, right? Now, you might not understand this, but there's a lot of building of resentment that's going on in certain parts of the nation that you live in, the nation that you're listening to this broadcast in, most likely. And it's not just happening in America, but it's happening in Africa and South Africa, as far as the post-apartheid new world African civilizations or cultures clash amongst each other, the blacks and the whites there. It happens here in the Black Lives Matter protests that we have with, everything that we've been talking about and going through as a nation. But now we kind of fast forward to Kanye West 2022 and wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt instead of a Black Lives Matter. And I think a lot of people are at lots of words, but they have a lot to say about the situation. But let me just go ahead and go back to this underlying, right? This underlying current, if you will. There's a big, and I'm going to get into the news articles in 1 second, but just to preface this stream, there's kind of this, white man guilt type thing that a lot of white men have been online in forums, and I've been reading and looking at this for a while. But not just that, but there's been such an agenda to push other race of men and uphold other races of men that there are some white men that feel like it's an attack on white masculinity. Now, the manosphere kind of ties into this a little bit, but there are takeaways from that once we kind of explain and break some of these things down, and why Candace Owens and Kanye West did this, you'll understand and connect a bit more with this, and why it is important ultimately to start having this discussion. But let me go ahead and preface this by saying, and we're going to drop a New York Clues bomb if I was not on StreamYards for this, but check this out, man. A fan who caught the 60-second home run of Aaron Judge was offered $2 million for the ball. $2 million for the ball. The owner of the sports memorabilia auction says he has offered $2 million to the fan who caught Aaron Judge's American League record 60-second home run. Well, you know what? I might need to start going to baseball games, ladies and gentlemen, and I go ahead and advise you to do so. The sad part is it happened in Arlington, Texas, which is about 30 minutes away from me. 30 minutes away, somebody just made $2 million by going to watch them play the Rangers. And had I not had my head in a rock, I might have been able to go ahead and make $2 million right there. It pays sometimes to watch a play. not to play in this case. A Virginia realtor was targeted and killed in an ambush while celebrating his birthday in Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos, a well-known realtor and NAACP leader, was shot and killed while celebrating his birthday in Turks and Caicos, and what police are calling a, quote, targeted attack. Kent Carter, the first vice president of the NAACP Arlington branch, Arlington is in the news, was riding in a car after going on an excursion on an island Sunday evening when men pulled up in another vehicle and began to shoot, according to Fox 5 DC. The shooting was one of the series of events that killed 3 people and injured 5, Turks and Caicos Police Commissioner Trevor Botting said. They're not sure exactly what happened, but they did, quote, say it was a targeted attack. Condolences to the first vice president NAACP chapter leader while he was on vacation. Kanye West has been slammed, as we get into our discussion, by Ahmaud Arbery's mother over the White Lives Matter t-shirt. He sparked outrage after wearing a shirt with the phrase White Lives Matter during his Yeezy Season 9 fashion show at Paris Week on Monday. Well, we go ahead and click that link right there. And it says Kanye West ripped for White Lives Matter shirt at Paris Fashion Week. Now, this is Kanye that you see right here in the MAGA hat. You remember Kanye did the MAGA hat, right? And people were hating at Kanye for doing the MAGA hat. It says on a Barry Weiss podcast, Kim Kardashian talked about ex-husband Kanye West's America Great hat. Says, I didn't want him to wear the red hat on SNL. Kim said, I'm not really a rule breaker. So my personality would be like, okay, guys, don't like the red hat? I'll take it off. And I remember other people were around it, and it became a thing where, she goes on to say, he wasn't going to go on because he wanted to be who he is. West, who now goes by Ye, sported the hat during a 2018 appearance on Saturday Night Live. So, White Lives Matter. Candace Owens is a pretty outspoken political representative, if you will, and she is on YouTube. I tagged her in the title so you can check her out and check her channel out so you can kind of catch up with her. We're going to watch a little bit of Candace Owens and how she explains the White Lives Matter, because I'm sure she's made a video. I haven't even watched it yet. She did make, it looks like, full-fledged podcast that's 28 minutes long on her channel, the Candace Owens podcast. We might go ahead and review that for a second, or at least, for a couple of seconds while we talk about this. We have a few other videos that we're going to cover as well as the Slavery is a Choice video. Make sure you're liking the video, ladies and gentlemen, as you come into the building, as well as the Slavery is a Choice video by Kanye West. What do you think? Was a slavery a choice? Was he misunderstood? I don't know. I kind of see both sides as far as the slavery was a choice thing, but I understand, obviously, the atrocities of slavery. So, okay, I can't just 100%. I'm just trying to share a screen really quickly. Hold on. I'm trying to see if you can share a screen. I don't even see that option is on StreamYards anymore. Did they take it off? Oh, okay, cool. They retitled it as Present Screen. What the heck, StreamYards? All right, White Lives Matter as according to Candace Owens. Let's give this a shot. Let's go ahead and watch this. Check this out. Get into this. Then we'll get into a really interesting video by Kanye.
The day, but it seems that the questions are coming to me. The big one being, why did Candace Owens and Kanye West wear White Lives Matter t-shirts last night at his Yeezy Season 9 show here in Paris? I'm still in Paris. Here is the shirt, by the way. If you're listening, you can probably find it anywhere online. It seems we broke the internet, but if you're watching, here it is, the notorious White Lives Matter shirt, which has inspired a meltdown, a breakdown for some people. I think my question is, why? Why did this t-shirt or our t-shirts inspire such a meltdown for so many people? I'm going to talk to you about the breakfast that I just had.
All right, so we'll stop it right there. Give your answer in the comments, or just tell me, in your opinion, whether you're watching live or on the replay, why do you think that? What is this? The still posted the trolling. Listen, Candace Owens, man. We'll watch some Candace Owens videos. Candace Owens, she believes in what she says, man. She really does. Candace Owens is a fire breathing, passionate, like, intelligent, beyond intelligent, extremely witty, like, force to be reckoned with, dude. Like Candace Owens is brilliant, in my opinion. I got a lot of respect for her. I got a lot of respect for her. So I say that to say that I don't think that she just is just saying this loosely as cannon fodder. I say I have a lot of respect for her as I'm not even subscribed to her, right? Jesus Christ. Cap. All right. So she's got a podcast here and we're looking at it. She talks along on politics, but yeah, she's conservative. She's extremely conservative, and I think that's where a lot of Black people lose her. Like she said a lot of not crazy stuff, but things that might be interpreted as crazy or like, you understand what I mean, right? And Kanye can do that too. So we'll go back to that video in 1 second because I'm actually going to listen to a bit of Candace Owens and see what she has to say. We're going to search on YouTube and see kind of how she speaks. And I'm going to show you how she speaks so you can understand a bit more of how she truly feels.
Candace Owens is a keen observer of all of this. She hosts a great podcast. She joins us tonight with Reaction. Candace Owens, I would love to see someone die in this country without getting a lecture posthumously. Oh, you died of smoking. You died because you didn't get the facts. You died because you drive an SUV. Can't we just acknowledge death as a sad thing, give it the reverence it deserves, and move on?
Well, not if you're a member of the Democratic Party, because they're.
Hey, Candace, Candace is a classic, man. She's great. She just does not care. No bars hold. Not if you're a member of the Democratic Party. Like that's who she is, and she believes it.
They're utter sociopaths and psychopaths. And when they see these tragedies take place, by the way, this is the same methodology that takes place with school shootings. You would think that we could mourn and we can be sad, but they say, wait a second, there are some children that are dead. So allow us to get in front of cameras and tell you why you need to give us more power. And the fact that they think about their own power and consuming more power when tragedy strikes is, as I said, an example of that they are utter psychopaths. And what's going on obviously is an extreme tragedy. But as you pointed out, Tucker, it is a natural tragedy. The earth has hurricanes. If there was no human beings that walk the face of the planet, there would continue to be hurricanes. Like there would continue to be.
So listen, Candace Owens is sharp. Very, very, very sharp. Right. And she says a lot of things that a lot of people in the community don't appreciate. Right. They don't like it. Now, we're going to switch for a minute and pivot Eurostep over to Mr. Kanye West, who, if you don't recall, did a video with TMZ. He literally stormed into TMZ's office, did a 30-minute classic video, and don't take offense to the word classic there. I say this loosely. I know the volume might have been low. I'm sorry if the volume was low. Did a classic Slavery is a Choice interview on TMZ live. Only Kanye would do an interview about something so touchy live. So you have to, first of all, pay him his roses and his respect there. We're going to get into this live interview. Probably going to get a copyright claim at this point. It truly, really doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Northwest's father.
What's good? Kanye, how you doing, man? What's good? Welcome.
How you doing, Kanye? Thank you so much. So, first of all, thank you so much for coming here and doing this. I want to start with what everybody is talking about, because I don't think people necessarily understand what happened last week with the Make America Great Again hat. So everybody wants to hear from you, and I want to have a discussion about it. What drove you to that? What was your point? What are you trying to do with the message you're sending?
Well, it was really just my subconscious. It was a feeling I had, like people were taught how to think, we're taught how to feel. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know how to feel for ourselves. People say feel free, but they don't really want us to feel free. And I felt a freedom in, first of all, just doing something that everybody tells you not to do. Like, you can't do it for this reason. You can't do this for that reason. So, and, I'm not coming up here to justify anything. It's,
All right. Let's stop it there. Hey, that's kind of a good point. There is a freedom. Are we not in the United States where if we want to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt, we can do that? We're in the best country in the world. Even though I have the weakest microphone stand in the world, we're in the best country in the world where if we choose to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt, or fly a flag that somebody else doesn't necessarily agree with, to a certain extent, right? We can do that. That's not inherently harming anybody. And that's one small takeaway, that even if you check out of the video right now, if you're just like, oh, I just can't listen to that. That's one small takeaway that I want you to try and appreciate. And this is something that no matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you should be able to appreciate. And that is that you can do a lot or just about anything in this country. There are countries where if you wore something and talked about the president, like, you're going to come up missing. You understand? So whether you're Republican or Democrat, I think that's a dope thing. Let's go ahead and continue here.
Can't tell me nothing. I made the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me what I'm, supposed to do. And also, it's like, the idea of icons and representations. I don't subscribe to icons. You take like the Nazi symbol. If you go to India, it's all over the place, but it doesn't represent that. It represents something different. So for me to wear that hat means I want to make America great in my own way.
So,
yeah.
So were you wearing the hat specifically to
That boy Kanye, that boy Easy.
show support for Donald Trump?
Or was it a bigger statement about free thought?
What? I mean, I'm an artist, right? So to ask an artist, there's infinite reasons. There's infinite reasons to the why an artist does something. An artist doesn't need suggestions. An artist needs paintbrush and a canvas. So this opened up a conversation. I'm probably going to do the least good explanation of why. I'm just connected with the universe, period. I'm just...
Period.
And that's going to come off whack. Don't try to wacko jacko me for saying that, because that's what the media is trying to do. They're attacking me with these smoke screens.
Now, a lot of people will say Kanye puts himself in the way, and Kanye does this and Kanye does that. Listen, in my opinion, Kanye is a great artist, and I do think that he has a good amount of talent. It seems that a lot of the different industries that he has kind of connected himself with has done really well. Now, does this have some troll appeal to it? Absolutely, this has some troll appeal to it, but make no mistake about it, at the same time, Kanye also did, and he had some sort of plans, or he did mention a presidential run in 2000 and what was that, 2020? Jesus, was it 2020? Help me out. He mentioned running for president. And so I think that there might be a political side to this where Kanye might want to do that, because listen, Kanye is the type of guy where we just don't know what exactly truly is going on, with him. But with people like Kanye West, who are extremely talented, with people who are really driven and just kind of have this vigorous fire and this passion to always want to just create and do things. I mean, the man's a billionaire, so I need you to understand this guy could literally do nothing for, not nothing, but he could manage his company, which I'm sure is ridiculous, but for the rest of his life, and just retire a billionaire. Okay. So he's good. He's set, but he still has this drive to compete, continue, go. And he goes like a madman, right? One of the reasons why I think he kind of linked up with Candace Owens in this case, because they're both pretty much mental monsters. They just go, and they don't stop. So he has this I want to take over the world type of mentality, right? And whenever you got this I want to take over the world mentality, you're not really ever satisfied with with where you are. And so I believe that this possibly could be a political legitimate feat or stunt, right? Now, when I say legitimate feat or stunt, I mean that there's an actual good reason or legitimate reason that he has for it, and possibly doing something with politics is what I think it could be in the future, because he's going to be trying to run for some sort of position. We'll get back to that TMZ video in 1 second, because it's going to get crazy, and we'll get to the point where he talks about slavery was a choice. We'll get to the point to where, we really start covering a lot of the tweets that are going on right now as far as the, White Lives Matter shirt, but on the most holistic level, right? And maybe I shouldn't say that right now. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Kanye West's Instagram page, shall we? This is Kanye West's Instagram page. 17.9 million followers right now. Kanye West. I saw a post that said this: Kanye is not alone. Black academic claims rappers' views are supported in African-American communities across America after he publicly condemned BLM and said everyone knows it was a scam. He said everybody knows that BLM was a scam. This looks like it's a guy, wearing a suit and it just says professor. We don't have a name or anything. It just says professor. So we'll see. What do y'all think? Do you feel that most of the black community is on the side of Kanye West wearing the White Lives Matter shirt and condemning Black Lives Matter as a scam? Do you believe Black Lives Matter was a scam? Leave it in the comment section below after you get finished watching this, after your breakfast. Do you believe Black Lives Matter is a scam? It doesn't matter what race you are. Comment in the comment box. Let me know. But this is an interesting post I saw here. And if we went and just took a look at the other posts, they get more interesting. Khloe Kardashian tweeted Kanye West, or commented. Look at this comment and then look at the response. Yay, Khloe Kardashian says, I love you. I don't want to do this on social media, but you keep bringing it here. You are the father of my nieces and nephews, and I'm trying to be respectful, but please stop tearing Kimberly down and using our family when you want to deflect. Again, with the narrative, enough already. We all know the truth, and in my opinion, everyone's tired of it. You know exactly where your children are at all times, and you wanted separate birthdays. I have seen all the text to prove it. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. We're diverting here. We're not reading from what Khloe Kardashian says. Khloe Kardashian said that you know where your children are. I have seen all the text to prove it that you wanted separate birthdays. I don't even know what that means. Huh. Maybe he wanted the birthday parties not at Kim Kardashian's house. Kim Kardashian West. And when you changed your mind and wanted to attend, you came. We go on to read from Khloe Kardashian. The comment's almost done here for my audio listeners. Like you pointed out yourself, she is the one taking care of your kids 80% of the time. Please leave her and the family out of it so that the kids can be raised peacefully. I come from a place of love. And she finishes by saying, and I am happy to continue this conversation privately if you wish. My goodness, Kardashians are some mental monsters, y'all. Kanye West responded in true Kanye form, in all caps lock form, which is true Kanye form. You are lying and are liars. Y'all basically kidnapped Chicago on her birthday so she could remember her father not being there. Trag gave me the address of my child's party. That's how y'all play with black fathers. Y'all also threw a party before Psalm's birthday when I was flying back from Japan to be there for his birthday. And it was the first I heard about it. It was seeing pics of the party online. Also, I should see my children 100% of the time. But since there's a separation, it should have been 50% of the time. Y'all wouldn't have played with Donda like that in Jesus' name. I want to give a shout out to my first and second grade teachers, Mrs. Benson, and I think it was Mrs. Benson again, if I don't recall. Kanye West responded passionately. Now, that was 11 hours ago because Kim Kardashian claims that Kanye West is simply trying to use the white identity as some sort of political or pawn somehow. I saw that she had said that people were claiming that, oh, Kanye's just he was trying to I don't know, but it got kind of on the Kardashians part, because I don't know if she was trying to say because Kanye is with Kim and Kim's white or whatever it might be. Either way, I tell you what, we can take it to Twitter because where I saw that explanation was Twitter. But before we go back to Twitter, we need to listen to a bit more of the TMZ interview because we were only 2 minutes into it. All right. Before we get back to Twitter, TMZ, we are here. Let's check out a bit more and hear the mind of Kanye West.
The idea of blacks, it's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is black.
Whoa. Let's rewind this. Something's getting demonetized. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank, and I don't know if I thanked a contributor that we had, but I just want to thank a contributor that we had. And I think I did this on the last live stream, sent a pretty great donation, a sizable donation offline. So I want to thank you again. I think I thanked you on the last live stream, but thank you again. I appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, you can do that. Truth Seekers on Cash App, TruthSeekers. no E at the end. It'll pop up as The Honest Truth, or you can do it on PayPal. Links are all over the place. You'll see a link eventually somewhere. Let's continue this. We are in hot water here, Susan, at YouTube.
But, you know, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so that's the line that kicked off everything right now. This was 2000 and something.
Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race. That we're one, we're the human race. We're human beings and stuff. And eventually, you know.
Can I go back to something you just said? Because I don't want to let it pass. You said that slavery was around for 400 years. At a point, it becomes a choice.
Yeah, right now
He said, I want to let it pass.
We're choosing to be enslaved. We're like, okay, so Ebro, I FaceTime on.
All right, so Kanye's gonna try, and Kanye separates a little bit the two different meanings that he said, meaning that we're slaves to our materialistic possessions right now in the year 2022, this, and that. But obviously, he was reflecting to the transatlantic slave trade, which is how a lot of colored or black, African American, brown, I don't know what we call black when we're brown skin, but brown skinned people got to the North American region, Southern American regions, apparently parts of Europe, parts of Asia, I don't know, right? So that's what Kanye was referring to in his original comment, saying slavery was a choice. I don't think he was mentioning as much current time, but he'll allude to current time. But I mean, he does have, just to some extent, a point. Now, I went and did my research on slavery, how many slaves were sold. I did it earlier today, and I looked up a good amount of stuff. I'm not going to bore you with all the research that I found, but I found a good amount of stuff. Some stuff I was a little off on, all right? But for the most part, I was pretty spot on with a lot of the things that I've been saying about slavery and how we've got here and the betrayal of black people, yada, yada, yada. Some stuff I was a little off on, but for the most part, I'm pretty good on. And there were stories of revolts. There were revolts. There were a lot of things that happened. There was a lot of trickeries and things like that that happened in order for the transatlantic slave trade to go down, right? But in the same breath, there was a lot of, self-preservation, to be quite frank and honest with you, which is that saying that, a lot of people, for the sake of living, right, just did what they had to do to save their lives. You get what I mean? Very touchy subject here. There's truth in what Kanye's saying, which is the bad part. I think the part that really angers a lot of people, but moreover, that kind of sets the gasoline to the fire is how he said that, right? It's kind of like, bro, there's a way to say and correct somebody, screaming at them and doing whatever it might be, even if you're right about the situation, is the way to do it, because if they put their guard up, then it doesn't really matter what you say at that point anymore. There's not going to be any effective communication. And I think that's what Kanye West fails to really recognize in his own life. Having said that, it's great marketing. So Omari Ryan says, I forgot all my teacher's name. That's good, Omari. I appreciate you. I'm in good company here.
And I'm there with Candace, right? And Ebro starts bringing up these.
Wow, he said he was there with Candace way back. So he's been with Candace. When was this interview? This interview dropped 2018. So he's been kicking with Candace Owens, or maybe this is somebody else for a long time.
His version of facts, right? And Candace has facts. She's researched, right?
Yeah, Candace Owens.
Candace Owens has facts. She's researched. And then Candace just pulls out her Jedi lightsaber and just, chops Ebro's head off with facts. The Ebro FaceTimes me the next day, and he's talking about the scoop, and poop. He wants to talk about music now. I said, yo, you going to have Candace on your show? He's like, nah, I'm not. She's mean. So you're going to stifle her voice, Ebro. You're choosing to enslave people's minds. You're choosing to not let the truth be free.
Can I give you my translation of what happened last week and tell me if it's...
So he's mentioning an incident where I guess there was a radio station that he had an interview with, and Candace Owens was up there with him. Behind the scenes, they had some kind of incident, and Candace Owens was supposed to go for another interview on a separate occasion, but because of the incident that they had behind the scenes, the radio host didn't want Candace Owens to be there, so Kanye West referred to that as enslaving the listeners' minds because you are unjudiciously deciding what and when and how and why they're going to listen to a said content creator or person, right? Which is obviously no direct correlation, or we're not trying to equate that to slavery, right? But Kanye West's mind kind of worked, and he's a bit right in that situation. But going back to it, I think it's interesting, and we'll stop the TMZ video there, but I think it's really interesting the fact that he has been working with Candace Owens for such a long time. So maybe this isn't anything as sporadic as we thought it was, right? Maybe this isn't anything that's just as left-wing as we think it is. Maybe going viral, maybe viral moments truly is a person just being their authentic selves. And that just catches on, that just catches wind. I think that a lot of times that's the reality of the situation, and I think in this particular situation and moment as well, that's the reality of it. Kanye West is a guy that passionately believes what he believes in, so much so that he put everything on the line at one point, even was willing to put his musical career and artistry aside at one point just to ensure that he could keep going and rising to the next level. Wasn't necessarily satisfied with the millions, wasn't satisfied with what he was doing under certain contracts and obligations, wanted to go and make eventually billions, wants to become the president. He wants to run for presidency and become the president of the United States. He's said that in a room, and he was completely honest and sincere about it, and had people laughing at his face, but he was sincere and honest about it. And I think now he's trying to really shake up the entire world, almost like President Trump has done, right? And so there's this value in natural shock value marketing. What is natural shock value marketing? Well, it's when you're a type of person that naturally shocks people because of just the way that you are. A lot of the times we call that like a FU personality, a FU type of persona, right? It's just when you just don't really care about society's norms, and you don't really have to live within the squares and circles and confounds that certain constructs of society have made most of us have to live in, because you have certain amenities, you have certain luxuries, and you have a certain charisma or a way about you that just can't be quelched, right? And I think that Kanye's obviously mirrored Trump with the MAGA incident, where he's talking about wearing the MAGA hat right now with TMZ in the interview we just got done watching. His staunch Republican right-hand side views, or more conservative views, especially as he's starting to, kind of really get into more business side of corporate America, the United States of corporate America, right? It's all kind of aligning with really what he's believed for a decent amount of time. But on top of that, what kind of aligns with a lot of the conversations that we've been having in these spaces and things of that nature, which is ultimately coming down to a lot of the issues that happen within the community and within the communities outside, influences, if you will. So white lives matter. White lives matter. If you see somebody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, what would be your reaction? If you see anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, what is your immediate reaction? Is it different from a Black Lives Matter shirt? I mean, the two words they're two just different races, and we're all equal at the end of the day, right? We want equality for all. Equality means that at this very present moment, you and I both see eye to eye, and we both share and go through the same laws. Now, there's a million different ways that we could vary that variable. Nobody is ever going to be able to see eye to eye, and there's no chance in the world that everybody's going to be like, oh, we're finally all equal. That's just not going to happen, because equality means something different for everybody. For some people, equality means that if I go to jail, that somebody else of another race or somebody else of another social class is going to go for the same amount of time that I'm going to go, even if I don't have the same amount of money that they have to afford myself a decent lawyer. That's right. Some aspects of equality, what people really ask for or what they really want, is communism. And I was on a live stream the other night where I talked about this, and we were talking about communism, and what it was we were talking about athletes, and we were talking about black men who end up doing really well in the black community, and how, as far as I know, it's just LeBron James and Kobe Bryant that built schools, and even then they were talking about, well, schools are still taught by the white man's curriculum and this and that. And I was like, okay, well, we're arguing a few different things right now, but ultimately the answer is still going to be building your own infrastructure and then trying to figure out some kind of way to, normalize or legalize, if you will, your message or whatever the hell you want to do, right? That's the answer. But the biggest thing was we were trying to, figure out how much money should a basketball player, if he's able to make $100 million in his career, get back to the city of which he came from. And people are saying, well, you can't be telling people to give their own money back because they worked hard for that money, this and that, this and that. And I said, well, see, this is the problem, because when settlers first got to America, right, there was no community. It was just forest. Now, if we break down the word communism, and if you just look at the word, and I'll go to Google really quickly so you can visualize this with me. I'll end this live stream soon, but I'll give you kind of an intellectual treat that I feel like I broke through the other night, right? Communism, the word alone almost breaks down to community, right? It almost breaks down to community even with that. Now, communism is obviously something that was seen and done in many countries that is not very good. You see these red logos. You think of China, you think of Russia, you think of other countries, right? You think of Putin, you think of a lot of stuff that'll get you demonetized on YouTube. And you're like, oh, well, it's horrible. Well, the word itself isn't necessarily such a bad word because it breaks down to, once again, community, right? Community. You need a community to work to come together, for everybody to pitch in order for there to be a level of progress that's made to then drive you towards capitalization, towards Western capitalization, or is that the name of the market they were in? Capitalistic markets, right? Communism has to be first. There has to be sacrifice equally from everybody when you're starting a city, a civilization, an area. And that's the problem still, is that we separate, right? We're like, oh, that's communism, that's this, that's why we have a hard time growing, right? We don't feel like we have to all equally pitch in. As a matter of fact, the video that we did a while back was done by Alicia, I forget her name, but it was, I'm giving up on the Black American dream, and why I'm giving up on Black excellency, right? So a lot of Black people are saying, listen, I'm washing my hands of all Black, whatever. Black people are trash. White people are trash too. I'm just going to get along with the bare minimum and do whatever. And that's fine. If you want to live your life that way, it's completely fine. But it doesn't negate the fact that this word is still going to be the basis for why we as Black people in America will never have as strong as a community as any other race. That's the word right there. That's the word right there. It's been really taken out of context. But I thought that was interesting. Listen, hey, I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. If you're watching this in the morning, which a lot of you are, then I hope you enjoy the live stream. Click that thanks button. You can still donate, even if you're watching this in the morning. Once again, I want to thank you. I hope that you do something interesting this weekend. We have the Bub Club boxes that I'm getting ready to reveal and drop on the site, that we're getting ready to reveal, rather, and drop on the site. They are astounding. They're going to come with 3 different items. I'm not going to reveal them yet. All for the price of $12.74 a month on gotserum.com. That's right. All for the price of $12.74 a month. Join the Bub Club. You can pre-order your box right now. They're almost ready. As soon as they're ready, they'll be up on the site. You'll see community tab post about it. You'll see pretty much a Bub Club intro on all the live streams and all the videos going forward. You'll know when they're up and when they're ready, and you're definitely going to want one for $12.74. It's a steal. We're talking all natural, made with ridiculously expensive. Do you hear me? Ridiculously expensive fruits and ingredients. All right. So y'all need to, I'm just playing. No, they're made with high quality ingredients. It's good. It's good for so many things. We're actually updating the site. Someone was asking, well, what is it? What is it good for? What is dragon fruit exfoliation good for? Well, that's a good question. You'll be able to head to the site soon on gotserum.com and look that up for yourself, as well as a few different other trinkets and cool pieces of information. I want to say one more thing. That is, after you order your item, you'll receive a confirmation email, and then it'll ask you if you want to join or become a member on the website. If you do decide to become a member on the website, I believe after your 10th purchase, there's like a point system that we have on there. After your 10th purchase, you get a free major discount. It's been the wire's been messed up the entire stream, so I'm not going to try and fix it now. But after your 10th purchase, you get a pretty nice discount. It might be a free item. I forget, but it's really nice. Having said that, more content on the way, and the next video you see is going to be a vlog because we are vlogging for Vlogtober. This room's going to transform and it'll be a little Halloween-y coming up here in a little bit, but we'll have Vlogtober. I plan on doing at least 2 vlogs for Vlogtober. The first one's going to be a firearm vlog. So you'll be able to go with me to the gun range and to a few other places, and we'll talk to some people of all different races, because here we recognize that all white and black I shouldn't say it. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously though, white lives matter and black lives matter too. I'm gonna get flamed for that. You can't say all lives matter. You need to draw, you have to say white lives matter, and you have to say black lives matter. You have to say Asian lives matter, and you have to say Latinos, Hispanics lives matter, because they do. You know, I'll wear a white lives matter shirt. Why not? You know what? We know what should happen. We should have somebody wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt who's white, and then a White Lives Matter shirt who's black, and then we should be holding hands. But you know the honest truth about that? There's people on both sides that wouldn't like that. That's the bigger issue. That's the bigger issue in my opinion. Anyways, ways, we're gonna ride this thing, roll this thing on out. I need to add the video. Yeah. The outro video. Actually, no, we don't even really have to do the outro video, do we? No, we'll do the outro video. We gotta do the outro video. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all very near future. Enjoy the vlog. Leave a like on it. And yeah, make sure you consider your Second Amendment right. Make sure you take care of those around you. Go do something new and fun. Sleep well. I love you very much. And good night.
Eyes out, peace on the track.